Hello everyone, Jay Whitner here with Space Headlines, our overview of what's going on in the space arena. Today we're going to talk about events from the back half of December 2017. Our opening story is SpaceX. They launched another Falcon 9 rocket, which has reached a point where that's not so newsworthy. But what was special about this particular case was that not only was it a reused first stage, but it was also a reused Dragon capsule atop the rocket. This was the first time that both had been combined in a single mission. The first stage successfully landed at Cape Canaveral, and this was the 20th successful first stage landing. What was once thought to be impossible has become commonplace. So congratulations to Elon Musk and the whole team at SpaceX. Blue Origin is also in the news. They have started moving into their huge factory facility at Kennedy Space Center. The building that you see depicted here is about 750,000 square feet, and it's just huge. I was down there about a month ago and was amazed to see how far the building had come, and they've started moving in now. The building represents a $220 million investment by Blue Origin and a big step forward for Florida's space industry. In the past, rockets have been built in various places and then shipped to Florida for launch. Now we're having rockets actually built in Florida. So thanks to Space Florida for making that happen. Morgan Stanley was in the news. They're doing more and more coverage about space firms. They've identified 90 space firms that they think are shaping the industry. And they've identified the sectors that they think are the biggest sectors. Satellite launch, they think, is about 20% of what's going on. Manufacturing, about 18%. Earth observation, about 14%. And satellite internet, about 13%. And they are forecasting big growth for the space industry, as is Bank of America and other firms as well. Straddle launch, what you see in front of you here is the world's biggest airplane. This is basically two fuselages of two 747s attached together with this wing structure that you see in between them. The news is that it went for its first taxi test, which is obviously an important milestone. Everything seemed to go fine with the test. The plane was built by Scaled Composites, and the first flight for the aircraft is projected for 2019, although I've heard rumors that late 2018 might be possible as well. Russia made the news with a very interesting proposal. They are talking about setting up a new module for the space station that would be a little luxury hotel kind of a thing. So if you're well heeled and you want to go up to the space station and stay in plush digs for a week, and you have an extra $40 million or so in your pocket, this might be the answer for you. The module would have 4 different sleeping quarters, little cabins, and they think it will cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $350 million to build this module. So we'll see if Russia moves forward with this approach for higher line space tourism. Scott Pace made the news with some comments that he made. As you may be aware, he's the executive director of the new National Space Council that was formed by the current administration. He made some interesting remarks that space is not a global commons. There's an ongoing debate that goes back a long time about what happens when people make money in space, who benefits, who gets the rewards from it. Some people think the rewards should be spread among everyone. Others think that the rewards should go to the people who did the work and put up the money and took the risk. So the remarks made by Scott Pace are along the lines of if the people that put up the risk and actually do the work should reap the benefits. And I tend to agree myself. But this has caused a bit of a stir, and we'll see how this works out moving forward. But I think that it's important, if we're going to develop space, to reward the people who make it happen. Next, we have the Ariane 6. The Ariane 5 has been one of the world's premier launchers for a very long time. This is the next version in the Ariane family. They've been working on this since 2014. The news is they feel like they're now ready to start building the first Ariane 6. So this would be a nice step forward. And there are apparently 600 companies involved in the planning and eventual building of this rocket. So good luck to them, and we'll be following along. For a long, long time, various people have advocated refueling satellites in orbit. Satellites are very valuable assets with a very hefty income stream. And when they run out of maneuvering fuel, they need to be retired at present because there hasn't been any capability of refueling them. NASA and DARPA are working on addressing this issue. So they want to build something to refuel satellites with a focus on satellites in the geosynchronous orbit. And in addition to refueling, there might be minor repairs, and I'm emphasizing the word minor here. There's not going to be any complex repair for a long time. But sometimes if something doesn't unfurl properly, a solar panel, an antenna, it's conceivable that if you just shake the satellite a tiny bit, that would fix a multi-million-dollar problem. Things like that might be suitable. So keep your fingers crossed for satellite refueling. That'd be a big step forward. Falcon Heavy, more powerful than any rocket currently in the roster, and more powerful than any rocket that's flown since the Saturn V. The news is the Falcon Heavy is now at Kennedy Space Center's Pad 39A, which has a heritage all its own. The intent is that they're going to launch the Heavy in January, and this has the added distinction of being the only rocket that I'm aware of with a Tesla Roadster payload. You may have seen this in the news, that since this will be the maiden voyage of the Falcon Heavy, they don't want to put in a super expensive irreplaceable satellite, because on every first launch of any new vehicle, there's quite a bit of risk. So their payload is Elon's Tesla Roadster. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. It's going to be a great spectacle, and I'm really excited to go down and see it. 2018 is going to be an amazing year in space. Lots and lots of big events are on the books for 2018, and SpaceX is behind quite a few of them. I just mentioned the first flight of the Falcon Heavy. This is a huge rocket capable of doing payloads to low Earth orbit of over 100,000 pounds. And the intent is that this will be a largely reusable rocket, with the first stages being reused. So that'll be a neat thing to see as well. The two side boosters will return to land on Florida soil, and the core booster will land on one of the drone ships offshore. Also in 2018, we should see the first flight of the Falcon 9 Block 5. This is presumably the final version of the Falcon 9 with various enhancements, but the main enhancement being designed for robust operation and capable of being reused many times without any refurbishment, and then many more times using refurbishment. In 2018, we should also see something very interesting, that Gwynne Shotwell of SpaceX has said that they plan to do an attempt to recover the second stage in 2018. So we'll see if they're able to pull that off. In 2017, the year we just finished, they did make an effort once to recover one of the fairings from the Falcon 9 that was only partially successful. We think they're going to be trying that again in 2018, and we think that they will be successful in recovering the fairing. And we're getting to a higher and higher portion of reusability, which speaks to costs and more airline type operations, which has been a goal for such a long time. We also should see some steps forward on the commercial crew front. We should see the first flight tests of the Dragon 2 by SpaceX and the first flights of the Starliner by Boeing. So 2018 is going to be awesome. Stay with us. Keep checking our broadcasts. We'll try to keep you up to date with what's going on. And the future is upon us. It's going to be awesome. We'll see you next time.